Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed about different types of torques. What are the essential requirements of an instrument? So, what are the essential requirements? There are three torques required. First one is, what is the first one? Controlling torque, damping torque, and deflecting torque. So, deflecting torque is the torque which makes the pointer to move. So that can be from the any of the effects, that is heating effect or magnetic effect or electromagnetic induction effect. So that is the deflecting torque. Next one, second one is controlling torque. So this controlling torque is provided by two methods. As I told you earlier, there will be two methods to produce the controlling torque. One is, those are spring control method and gravity control method. So first, in that first one, spring control method. So we are going to discuss the spring control method, by which you can form the spring control torque. So here you can observe, this is the spring control method. This is the diagram schematic for spring control. So here, this spring control method consists of two springs, two hair springs. That means hair spring means it will be very thin springs, and these are made of phosphor bronze or silicon bronze material. In this, these two springs are mounted on the spindle. This is the spindle. This spindle is between the two jewel bearings. This will be held tight in between the jewel bearings. This is the spindle. This spindle is placed between the up and down two jewel bearings. On this spindle, two hair springs are there, and this is the pointer of the instrument. So whenever there is a deflecting torque, this pointer will start deflecting over the scale. So this pointer should stop at the particular reading. To make the pointer to stop at the particular reading, you need the controlling torque. So in order to provide the controlling torque, here you are using two hair springs. So these two are control springs, and whenever this pointer starts moving, these springs will be twisted. The springs will be twisted, so that it will control the pointer to stop at a particular point, required point, which will be acting opposite to the direction of the deflecting torque. So here the controlling torque is denoted as Tc. So Tc is the controlling torque. This controlling torque is directly proportional to theta. Theta is the angle of deflection of the pointer. So this, whenever how much the angle this is making, that angle is directly proportional to the controlling torque. As we have already discussed, at steady state or equilibrium position, Td is equal to Tc. Td is nothing but deflecting torque. Deflecting torque will be equal to the controlling torque. So deflecting torque is proportional to controlling torque means is equal to controlling torque means Tc is equal to Td. Then it will be theta is proportional to I. The current, the amount of current will be directly proportional to the deflection made by the pointer. So once again I am saying this, there in the spring controlling torque there will be two springs. These two springs are mounted on the spindle. On the spindle, this spindle will be having a pointer attached. A pointer attached will be, which will be moving over the scale. Which will be moving over the scale. So whenever there is a deflecting torque, there is a twisting provided by the hair springs, and because of the twisting, the pointer will be making some angle. That angle is nothing but theta. So controlling torque is directly proportional to the angle made by the pointer. Tc is directly proportional to theta. At equilibrium, deflecting torque Td is equal to controlling torque. So what is Td? Deflecting torque is equal to directly proportional to the current passing. That is Ki is equal to K theta. So I is proportional to theta. So the amount of current which is flowing in the circuit will be directly proportional to the angle made by the pointer. So now I is proportional to, directly proportional to theta. That means it will be varying linearly with the deflection of the pointer. So here there are different advantages and disadvantages. So what are the advantages? So the instrument can be placed in any position, that is horizontal or vertical. The instrument can be kept downward horizontal wise or vertical place. So that is one advantage. And next advantage is the method does not increase the weight of the instruments as springs are light. See here you are using the springs which are hair springs, that means very thin. So as they are very thin, there will not be any weight, so that when any weight added to the system, so it will not increase any weight of the instrument. Next, third one is scale is uniform. Here scale is uniform. Why I am saying here is TC is proportional to theta, that means I is proportional to theta, that means it is linearly varying, the current will be linearly varying. So as it is linearly varying, the graph will be a straight line, that means the scale will be a uniform scale, that means the points will be of equal distance. The points will be 1 ampere will be at equal distance to 2 and it is equal distance to 3. That means points will be, the scale is uniform. But there are some disadvantages also. So what are those disadvantages? So there is temperature variations can affect the length and design of the spring. So it is dependent on the temperature. The springs are dependent on the temperature. If the temperature varies, the readings also might vary. So that is one disadvantage. And the other disadvantage is it will be with time the springs will be lost. That means the wear and tear of the springs tightness will be reduced. So that is the second disadvantage. Next one, so second one is gravity control torque. So in the controlling torque, we can produce the controlling torque by using two methods. As I told you, first one is spring control and the second one is gravity control. So in that gravity control, this can be explained by using this schematic. So here this is the pointer and to the pointer there is a control weight acting here. So as you know, gravity will be always acting in the downward direction. So here the control weight will be acting in the downward direction, and to the for this control weight there is a balancing weight which is acting perpendicular to the controlling torque. So these two should be perpendicular direction. So whenever this is the pointer, whenever there is a deflecting torque in this direction, the pointer will start moving. So whenever this starts moving, it is the controlling torque attached to the pointer will moving in this direction. So these two are attached. If the pointer is in this direction and controlling torque is in this direction, if the pointer moves in this direction, automatically the controlling torque will also move in this direction. So that means as the controlling torque, the balancing weight also moves. So this makes here, it can be explained by using this diagram. So this is the controlling torque. Whenever this controlling torque, this is W is the controlling torque weight. Whenever this pointer moves, the controlling torque will also move in this direction. What happens by the gravity? The gravity will always make the weight to come to the downward direction. So here this W can be resolved into two components. One is W cos theta and the other one is W sin theta. So to come back to the initial position, what is the component is in this direction, that is W sin theta. So W sin theta is the component which is making the control weight to come back to its initial position. So that's what we have written here. When deflected by an angle theta, the weight exerts a force W sin theta. So now what is the torque now? Torque is equal to the force into length. Force is nothing but W sin theta into L is nothing but the length of the control weight. L is the length of the control weight. So force into length is nothing but the torque. So torque is equal to WL sin theta. As you know that deflection torque TD is directly proportional to I, And also I told you very important, at equilibrium the deflection torque is equal to the controlling torque. So Tc is equal to Td, that means WL sin theta is equal to K into I, that means I is equal to some constant into sin theta. So I is directly proportional to sin theta. Whereas in case of spring control, I is proportional to theta, that is I is directly proportional to theta. But in here, in the gravity control, I is proportional to sin theta. In that case, I is proportional to theta means the scale is uniform, whereas here I is proportional to sin theta means the scale will be non-uniform. Okay, so non-uniform, and this becomes the equation. And coming to the advantages and disadvantages, it is simple and cheap. This is simple and cheap, and it is not affected by the temperature. And but whereas the spring control, it depends on the temperature. And the disadvantages are the scale is non-uniform and the system should be used in the vertical position only. The system should be used in vertical position only, so there will be a cause of parallax error. So these are the disadvantages. As I told you, controlling torque consists of two methods. One is spring control and gravity control. Under the spring control, there are fewer. I is proportional to theta, that means scale is uniform. Whereas for gravity control, I is proportional to sin theta, therefore the scale is non-uniform, and there will be separate advantages and disadvantages. Next, coming to the next one, damping torque. In this damping torque, first one is air friction damping. So in this air friction damping, you can observe in this diagram, so there will be a spindle. So here this is the pointer and this is the spindle. So on this spindle there is a air friction chamber. So this is the air friction chamber. In this air friction chamber there is a piston moving in. So in this chamber the piston moving inwards and outwards of this air chamber. Whenever this pointer moves in this direction, the piston will be coming outwards. When the pointer moves downwards, this pointer will move upwards. So likewise, here if this moves upwards, this piston moves downwards, and if it moves in this direction, the piston moves inwards. So that means the piston moves to inwards and outwards of the air chamber. And so whenever there are oscillations, here I am discussing about damping torque. Damping means you need to you need to take off the oscillations. So whenever the pointer is moving to and fro, you need to stop that movement and make it in a position. So oscillations you need to stop out. For this you are using the air friction damping. So air friction damping, so whenever the pointer is oscillating, this piston will be oscillating in the air chamber, and because of that the pressure will be applied on this piston. Because of that pressure, the oscillations will be damped out. Next, coming to the second one, fluid friction damping. So previously you have used the air friction damping. So in that air friction damping, the main component is air. Here likewise, here instead of air you will be using the fluid. This fluid can be oil or some water or some other one, which is having the main preference is given to viscous liquid. Whatever the liquid you can use, but it should be viscous. Viscous means it will make the it will make the spindle to turn not easily. So here in this fluid friction there is a tub here you are using. In this container there will be, this is the spindle and this is the vane. Whenever this spindle moves, whenever this spindle will be connected to the pointer, whenever the pointer moves, this disc also moves in the liquid. This disc also moves in the liquid. So if the liquid is high viscous, then this viscous liquid will not make the pointer disc to rotate. So that these oscillations will be damped out. So this is the fluid friction damping. Next one, eddy current damping. So in this eddy current damping, here two laws we are using. First one is Faraday's law and the second one is Lenz's law. So what is Faraday's law? Faraday's law is nothing but whenever a conductor cuts the magnetic field, an EMF will be induced. Here I am using, this is the spindle, this is the spindle, on this spindle, this is the pointer. On this spindle itself there is an aluminium disc. There is will be aluminium disc. This is the aluminium disc. This disc is placed between the two magnets. N and S are the two magnets. Between this magnetic field, the disc will be rotating. So whenever, that means whenever the pointer starts oscillating, the disc will be rotating. So whenever it starts rotating, then here this is the magnetic field. Whenever the conductor cuts the magnetic field, then what happens? An EMF will be induced. This induced EMF will, as the conductor is closed, as the disc is a closed one, what happens? Because of the EMF, the current will be induced. These currents are nothing but eddy currents. So these currents are nothing but eddy currents. Because of these eddy currents, because of Lenz's law, what is Lenz's law? Will oppose the cause. So these currents will oppose the current, that oscillations, and make the pointer stable. And make the pointer stable. So the main advantage of eddy current of these three dampings, one is air friction damping, next one is fluid friction damping, and the third one is eddy current damping. So from the air friction damping to eddy current fluid friction damping, it is the more efficient one. But here there is a leakage of oil. The disadvantage is leakage of oil. So this disadvantage can be overcome by using the eddy current damping. In this eddy current damping, there is no oil leakage problem, there is no air friction problem. So eddy current is very spacious, it requires less space and it is very efficient in damping. So here there are three torques, as I discussed you earlier. There will be three torques. One is controlling torque, deflecting torque, second one is controlling torque, and the third one is damping torque. Controlling torque will consist of two controlling methods. One is, what are the two control methods? Gravity control and spring control. And damping torque will be produced by using three methods. One is air friction damping and fluid friction damping and eddy current damping. So these are different types of torques. Okay, thank you.